Castlevania Lords of Shadow is a complete series reboot, so everything you know about the series, yeah, forget it, doesn't apply here. This game takes place in
the year of our Lord 1047
and follows Gabriel Belmont, voiced by Robert Carlyle, on his quest to avenge the death of his wife Marie. Gabriel rides in on his horse as a group of Lycans attack villagers, and the game begins. Here we see that it's more of a hack-and-slash game, kind of like that of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and the closest to Lords of Shadow's gameplay, God of War. While some people criticize it as a God of War ripoff, I personally think the hack-and-slash gameplay works incredibly well here, and was a step in the right direction for 3D Castlevania games. In fact, this is done so well that it makes this one my personal favorite out of all the 3D Castlevania games. Your main weapon is, of course, the Vampire Killer, this time being known as the Combat Cross. Vampire Killer is simply a nickname that the people Gabriel saved called it. You can perform direct attacks or more area-oriented attacks to attack multiple enemies at once. In addition, Gabriel has sub-weapons at his disposal. He can throw knives, which are way more powerful than knives should be. He can throw holy water, which acts the same as previous installments. He can summon fairies, who can find nearby secrets, and even summon a giant demon to wreak havoc upon his foes. Gabriel just might be the most impressive Belmont of them all. He can take down colossal titans in a manner similar to Shadow of the Colossus.
Although it's done much better here and it's actually fucking enjoyable, sue me.
And he's an incredibly skilled climber, putting characters like Ezio Auditore to shame. And he can wield both light and dark magic. Light magic can restore his health when striking an enemy, and dark magic increases his damage output. He also gets various upgrades throughout the game, such as sprint boots, a double jump, a powerful gauntlet, and more. I know you're curious about the music, right? Well, this soundtrack gets a lot of flack, and as it's very generic, and doesn't really sound like Castlevania music. But that being said, I don't think the music is bad by any means, just not very memorable. However, there are a few songs that are pretty damn good. The story is where the game really shines. As mentioned earlier, Gabriel Belmont is journeying to avenge the death of his wife. He meets a spirit god named Pan, who tells him he is worthy of this task and that he may communicate with her by entering the Lake of Oblivion, where the living can talk to the dead. Here he meets a man named Zobek, voiced by Patrick Stewart, who tells him there might be a way to bring her back. But first they must defeat the 3 Lords of Shadow, the Lord of Lycans, the Lord of Vampires, and the Lord of Necromancers. So Gabriel sets off to confront the 3 lords, receiving help from Zobek along the way. Along the way, he meets a young girl named Claudia and her guardian knight. She provides aid to Gabriel for a bit. However, she is murdered by what seems like Gabriel's hand, but Gabriel doesn't seem to recall this happening. This shows that he's starting to descend into madness, and now he must complete his task quickly before darkness overcomes him. First up is the Lord of Lycans, who is actually Cornell. In this continuity, he is only a Lycan rather than a werewolf. After his defeat, we move on to the Lord of Vampires, who surprisingly is not Dracula, but rather Carmilla. After she is defeated, he must confront the Lord of Necromancers, but to do so, he must go to the land of the dead. In order to do that, he must seek help from a witch named Baba Yaga. She will help him get to the land of the dead if he finds a blue rose that is inside a music box. So using her magic, she shrinks him down and he must solve a puzzle to get the rose. And tell me if the music box tune sounds familiar. That's right, it's the main series theme song, Vampire Killer. This was a great little nod to the original series, and it made me smile quite a bit. So now once he gets the rose, he journeys to the land of the dead. Okay, I'm giving you all a chance to click off now as there are massive spoilers ahead. Still here? Alright, here we go. Once Gabriel journeys to the literal end of the earth, he encounters Zobek once again, but this time he reveals a secret to us.
You are the Lord of the Necromancers. The final Lord.
That's right, Zobek is death. And here we learn that he has been manipulating Gabriel and leading him further down the path of darkness, eventually revealing that Gabriel was the one who killed his own wife. It seems all is lost for our hero and a battle with death is inevitable. But to Death's surprise, his soul is claimed by none other than Satan himself. Voiced by Jason Isaacs, by the way. And now a final confrontation between Gabriel and Satan occurs. Upon Satan's defeat, Marie's soul is finally at peace, and Gabriel begs for forgiveness from God. Many years pass as we see a creepy old chapel and a man journeying through it. Turns out this man is Zobek, and it seems like he's greeting someone.
An unusual hiding place for the Prince of Darkness. Don't you think?
Zobek.
Yes, old friend. It is I.
Where have you been all this time?
Out there. Amongst the living. And what of you? Why have you been hiding all this time? Gabriel.
Don't you dare call me that. Saint Dracul.
What? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel did not overcome his descent into madness, but fully embraced it and became Dracula. This plot twist blew my mind when I first played this game. Unfortunately, we don't see exactly how he becomes a vampire unless we play the Reverie DLC, where all gets revealed. Castlevania Lords of Shadow is a fantastic game, and one of my favorites in the entire series. It seems like things were still looking bright for the series. So let's see what happens next in Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. See you soon.